for the first time in 2015. We go racing. Off the line, Alfie Brown rocks into the lead. Looks like Marta Garcia got a good start up the inside. Callum Bradshaw also up there. There goes Stuart White through. Xavier Loverez has made not a good start at all. The Spanish driver who started on the front row of the grid, there you can see Javier is back in position number 5. The field thankfully have got through the first couple of turns without incident. Up the furthest point of the circuit for the first time. This 15 lap final. 25 kilometres of this Zuera circuit. Javier Loverez, not the best start. Alfie Brown, you saw when the lights went out. Oh, we've got one spinning. Is that Loverez? Just talking about Alfie Brown, when the lights went out, made a great start, but it's actually Callum Bradshaw who we saw spin. Marta Garcia is actually your race leader. Now the field starts to come alive. Alfie Brown back into second spot. Then it's Zaha Slutsky in the white helmet. Fadil Pratama, the Indonesian that we spoke about briefly, up into 4th spot, but has been dropped back to 5th because Javier Loverez in the orange helmet, the Spaniard, has got past Pratama. Hugo de Vilde, great start by Della Coletta, the Brazilian, up into position number 7. Stuart White, the South African, is down in position number 10. Not the best start for the driver from Joburg. There goes Stuart, as we concentrate on the battle for 3rd, 4th and 5th. Callum Bradshaw, we saw coming onto the straight for the first time, left rear Bridgestone tyre in the dirt, and Callum went around and is now way down at the back of the field. Across the line for the second time, your race leader, Marta Garcia. Xavier Loverez goes through on Pratama, who did briefly get up into position number 3. Stuart White starting to fight back through the field. Oh, a big hit there. I think that was White, in fact. We just spoke about Stuart White setting the fastest lap of the race. And then had a big coming together with either Royce Yu from Hong Kong or Alejandro Lajoz Lopez. The race continues on under the guidance, the direction of our race director, Mr. Joel Blanc. I'll correct myself. Of course, Nigel Edwards is the race director for the KZ classes. But Mr. Joel Blanc is the race director for the Academy Trophy here for 2015 as Marta Garcia extends her lead. Zaha Slutsky now in second spot from Alfie Brown. Xavier Loverez in position number 4. Murillo Della Coletta. Brilliant start by the Brazilian. Coming from grid number 12. The driver from Sao Paulo is now up into 5th. Head of Fadil Pratama, Hugo de Vilde. Stuart White in 8th. Head of Alfred Nielsen. And the Hong Kong driver, Royce Yu, rounding out the 10. There's 3rd, 4th and 5th. Brown, Loverez, Della Coletta. Then a little bit of a gap back to Fadil Pratama. Hugo de Vilde also completing in the European KF Junior Championships. Loverez goes through in 4th. Then it's Della Coletta. Royce Yu now up into 7th spot behind Fadil Pratama. Then a big battle back, including Alfred Nielsen, Stuart White, Alejandro Lajoz Lopez, Ilya Zamula, the Ukrainian driver. And then in 13th place from Arizona in the United States, Jagger Jones heads Glenn Van Burlo. Edo Cohen rounds out the top 15 as we approach 1/3 race distance here on the plains of Zaragoza. The city of Zaragoza in the background behind those hills in the far distance. Loverez goes through ahead of De La Coleta. Of course, the two boys, the two twins from Sao Paulo, Brazil, Murillo and Marcel De La Coleta. Across the line one more time. The lead for Marta Garcia is now 0.8 of a second. Fastest lap of the race so far is Alfie Brown, the driver from the United Kingdom. Royce Yu from Hong Kong up into position number 6. Fastest qualifier, the Frenchman Theo Nouet, is down in 22nd behind Aruga Tomita, the Japanese, who, as we mentioned, did win a heat yesterday. But Aruga has 20 drivers in front of him, starting with the Norwegian Emil Heyerdahl. The young girl from Japan, you can find her on her own Facebook fan page, Shion Tsuchimoto. She's down in position number 26, ahead of the other Asian driver, Chen Yung Lee. See at the bottom of your screen, Callum Bradshaw, after being in the top 4, had that big moment on the opening lap of the race, and unfortunately Callum is out. As we approach half race distance, that's the gap back between 5th and 6th spot. De La Coleta, and then a big gap back to Royce Yu from Hong Kong. Alfred Nielsen from grid 19 is now up into 7th. So we've got a change for 2nd place. Alfie Brown and Zaha Slutsky, they exchange positions. The gap from your leader, Marta Garcia, to these two drivers on screen is 0.9 of a second. And with that passing move, we can expect that to be even further when they come across the line next time round. Marta Garcia, very experienced. As we mentioned, she races an Alonso kart in the European KF Junior Championships. This is her 2nd year in the Academy Trophy. Alfie Brown in 2nd spot. The gap is now 1.2 seconds from this girl, Marta Garcia Lopez. This is a brilliant initiative instigated by the CIK in conjunction with the FIA. The CIK-FIA Academy Trophy did start all the way back in 2010. Some big names have come through this series. They've made a start in their European karting career. Of course, we mentioned Richard Verschoor, a race winner in WSK, now with the RB racing team as Alfie Brown goes through. That Paralink kart working quite nicely. You can see the Bridgestone inside rear tyre lifting quite nicely. The gap between Brown and Garcia last time round was 1.2 seconds. The gap is now 1.3 seconds. Marta Garcia, she won the FIA Women in Motorsport Award in January of this year. She's on her way to taking a very big win here this afternoon. She looks over her shoulder, only to find the Englishman, Alfie Brown, Zaha Slutsky, another Spaniard, Xavier Loverez, Murillo De La Coleta. Then it's Royce Yu, Alfred Nielsen, Alejandro Lajoz Lopez, also racing the KF Junior European champs, Hugo de Wilde from Belgium, and the Indonesian driver, Fadil Pratama, rounding out the top 10. Stuart White, the South African, just on the edge of the top 10 in 11th, ahead of Ilya Zamula, as Alfie Brown desperately tries to hunt down your race leader, Marta Garcia Lopez. We are past half race distance. Second, third, fourth, fifth. Brown, Slutsky, Loveres, De La Coletta. Then we go all the way back to Royce Yu, Alfred Nielsen, the Swede. Marta Garcia has driven a faultless race. Fastest lap though has gone to Murillo De La Coletta in position number 5 there, as Loveres has a look at the inside of Slutsky. Can't quite do it. You can pick out Loveres, has the bright orange helmet. As Stuart White makes a move past Pratima and De Wilde. Takes 2 karts to move back into the top 10. Michael Santos, all the way from the Dominican Republic, not having the best run, but still out there circulating. One ahead of the Japanese driver, Aruga Tomita, fighting for 30th position. We've only had the 2 retirements, the 2 English-speaking drivers, in fact. We lost Callum Bradshaw on the opening lap of the race. And unfortunately, Jagger Jones, the grandson of the 1963 Indy 500 winner, Parnelli Jones. Unfortunately, Jagger is out after having pretty good pace here this weekend. We hope to see Jagger back racing for the second and third rounds of the Academy Trophy. Of course, Jagger, winner in Las Vegas a year ago, also raced the Vortex Mini Rock Final in Garda, so it's not his first experience racing in Europe. As we watch the battle for third, this is Slutsky, Loveres, De La Coletta, who just set the fastest lap of the race a few moments ago. The Brazilian trying to get up on the podium. Sits in behind Loveres. This is the final corner of the circuit with 4 laps to go. 5:14 is De La Coletta. There goes Marta Garcia at the bottom of your screen. She flashes by. Loveres up the inside. Surely the Spaniard can do it under brakes. Oh no, Slutsky shuts the door. So Loveres tries the outside line. Still, the Spaniard cannot get past the Russian as the Brazilian De La Coletta watches on. Murillo De La Coletta looks behind. There's no one behind you, Murillo. That leaves the door open for you to make a challenge to get up on the podium, which is currently occupied by Zahar Slutsky. Normally we see Zahar competing alongside his twin brother Artem for the Danilo Rossi kart team. They're getting very, very close to touching. Loveres up the inside, all over the back of the Russian with 3.5 laps to go. This is brilliant racing. Oh, nicely done. Loveres drops through on the inside. Slutsky responds, and De La Coletta says, hey, I'll have a piece of this. Now the Brazilian is up into position number 4 and almost goes up into third, but drops back to 5th because now Loveres has made it a Spanish 1 and 3. They've left it till the final laps of the race, 2.5 remaining. Loveres, De La Coletta, Slutsky. Loveres now back into position number 5. Your race leader, Marta Garcia, put the glasses down. She's got 2 seconds over Alfie Brown. Slutsky, De La Coletta, Loveres, the bright orange helmet just puts a Bridgestone tyre a little bit wide. You saw the dust fly up. He knows he made an error there because he put his head down behind the steering wheel, even on that short straight, desperate to try and cover that fraction of a tenth of a second that he lost. In fact, Loveres has lost quite a bit of time in the last part of that lap. Marta Garcia extends her lead over Alfie Brown to 2.2 seconds. Slutsky in third from De La Coletta. Murillo from Sao Paulo, Brazil. Racing here alongside his twin brother Marcel. who unfortunately didn't qualify for this final. Such was the level of competition. So 1 out of 2 twin brothers from South America ain't half bad. With a lap and a half to go, it is Garcia from Brown. Then this battle involving Slutsky, Della Coletta and Loverez. Glenn Van Berlo is the last driver in the top 10. The Dutchman sits in 10th, just behind the South African Stuart White. Alfie Brown goes through. This is the final lap of the race. I suspect something's going to happen here. I don't think they're going to finish in this order in 1.7 K's time. Loverez up the inside as we watch Marta Garcia. This is the battle for the final step of the podium. Slutsky, Loverez very close to the back of the Russian. Alfie Brown, the Brit, is safe in position number 2. Marta Garcia, she's feeling the fatigue out there, although she is very, very fit. Can just see her working the wheel. She's driven superbly. Marta Garcia Lopez from Spain, in Spain, on her final lap. On her way to winning the FIA CIK Academy Trophy Round 1 here in Zuera. The final corner is coming up. She will do it. She's beaten the boys. Marta Garcia takes the checkered flag to win the first round of the CIK Academy Trophy. Alfie Brown across the line in second spot. Let's see who can hold on to third.